Hello and welcome to another episode of Dream Home Cooking. Today is a delicious, simple menu. I'm going to show y'all how I make a spaghetti Alfredo squash bake and party pesto pinwheels, and then some delicious garlic green beans. So I'm going to get started with the spaghetti squash Alfredo, and this is a delicious dish. It's actually something I found online that was a real healthy dish, but I made a bunch of changes to it. So if you've never worked or cooked spaghetti with spaghetti squash, I want to show y'all. This is a spaghetti squash. Now, my recommendation is to bake this first before you cut it open, because it is so hard to cut, even with the sharpest of knives. But you want to take the spaghetti squash and bake it. You pierce it with a sharp knife, put it on parchment paper on a pan, and bake it at 350 for about 50 minutes, 50. And then it's super, well, not super easy, but it's much easier to work with. So you could see how much easier it is for me to cut through. It's a little tough on the ends to get that knife through there, but we're gonna save the shell of this spaghetti squash so that we can put the filling inside of it. So then it just makes it prettier on the eyes. So you can take a little strawberry huller or a fork, and what you want to do when you cut it open, you're going to have seeds in there. So you just kind of have to get in there with your hands. You want to remove all those big seeds. You don't want to put that in the dish, accidentally bite into it. And then what I'm going to do is get a fork, and you see how, that's why they call it spaghetti squash. This stuff is a lifesaver for people who are doing low carb diets and want pasta. It sort of helps to make you feel like you're, having pasta without all the carbs. However, I have cooked it with pasta sauce and it's very good. But for this dish, I felt like it was too mushy just using the spaghetti squash. So what I'm doing is taking half or one squash, using the insides, and then I'm gonna add some extra pasta to it. So that way it's a little more hearty and it's not mushy. Okay, so now I've got all that scraped in there. This is gonna be extra. I'm gonna use this for another dish at another time. I've only kept the spaghetti squash from one. Okay, and so you just put these 4 boats on a parchment paper lined pan. So I'm gonna pop over here. This is 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to take half a cup of white onion, and saute that for about 6 or 7 minutes. And basically, this is going to be the part of making the Alfredo sauce. And you can lighten it up by using 2% milk. I wouldn't advise using any like skim or something like that, because it'll be just real weak and watery, I think. But I am using whole milk and about a half a cup of half and half today, because it just makes a really nice rich sauce. And this is a really delicious meal, and it serves about 6, because unless you've got somebody with a really hearty appetite like my sweet son-in-law, he would have 1 whole of these or maybe even 2, but you almost could half it. So I'm excited for y'all to see the results. When you take the fork and dig in, it's just ooey gooey, cheesy, and delicious. All right, so once you've got those onions sauteed for about 6 minutes, we're gonna add the garlic, and this is 2 cloves of fresh garlic that I minced. And I always like to put it in on the back end, because I've found that if I put it in with the onions, I tend to burn that, or not burn it, but it just gets a bitter taste to it, I feel like. All right, so there's the garlic. Okay, and you want your heat to be on low, but where you're still, it's still cooking, because we're gonna start adding our flour. This is 2 tablespoons of flour, and you just wanna keep whisking it. You don't wanna dump it in there all at once. And this is gonna be your thickening agent, obviously. All right, so that is nice and whisked in. Then we're gonna add the milk. And like I said, this is 2 cups. Well, it's about 1.25 cups of whole milk, and then the rest half and half, but to make a total of 2 cups. And I'm just gonna gradually add this, and you'll see it'll start to thicken, and you may want to bump the heat a little bit on this, because it needs a little bit of heat in order to thicken it up. Okay, so I got that last bit of milk in there. It's nice and thick. So now I'm gonna add a few seasonings. My normal round, this is a teaspoon each of salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then you want to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm gonna eyeball it. And then I'll taste it after I get everything in here and make sure everything is to my liking. I may need a little more salt or a little more pepper. And then I'm gonna put a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese in there and just stir that until it melts down. It already smells delicious. All right, and now all that's left is to add the chicken. Now, to make it really easy, I just got a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store deli and deboned it, and so that's what I'm using. But any kind of chicken, 2 cups of shredded or chopped chicken. So I'm gonna put that in there. All right, and then I'm gonna take some spaghetti squash. This stuff is really good. You could do, you know, spaghetti squash mac and cheese, because it really does have the consistency of pasta. All right, and then I'm gonna add, this is 8 ounces of linguine I already cooked and drained. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I normally put the whole 8 ounces in here, but you wanna stir it, and as long as you've got lots of good creaminess around the pasta, you just don't wanna put too much pasta in there to where it dries out. Okay, so that is the filling, and we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, I'm gonna show you guys how I stuff the squash shells, and we're gonna make the garlic green beans.
You know, years ago, we researched different cabinet companies. Wellborn was the cabinet company that we decided to go with. Wellborn has a lot of your custom style building like we did in the local cabinet shops years ago. You just can't go wrong with a product like that with Wellborn. On top of that, Wellborn has researchers that are out in the market every day. Their job is to see what's current in the market, what's selling, and what their dealers need to be showing in their showroom. So come out, let me help you design your kitchen with Wellborn products.
Hey guys, come on in.
Hey Troy.
Yeah, let me show you around.
Wow.
You know, as the Acme Brick spokesperson, I get paid in brick. All the brick I want. Solid. What? Too much? To get Acme Brick quality, look for the Acme name. And here's the guest room. Hope you like a firm mattress.
My father started this business in 1977. The people that work for us is part of what sets us apart. All of our employees have experience. All of our plumbers have been with us for 10 years or greater. Our motto at Dean & Son is quality and service. We're going to do quality work. We don't leave people hanging. We're there when we're supposed to be. We're done when we're supposed to be. Living up to what you sell and service them after they pay you, that's where your integrity in the plumbing business comes.
Dean & Son Plumbing Company. Call today at 518-9780.
In choosing a contractor in today's market, you know, finding someone that is going to take care of you and make sure that you're happy with their product, with the quality, it's not an easy task today. The most important thing to me is doing what you say you're going to do, taking care of the customer, installing a product that is superior. My motto is call the lady with a team you can trust, and I feel confident that we are a team that you can trust.
Okay, we're back. I cleaned up all this mess. I've got the squash, I call them squash boats. They're ready to be stuffed. And you could certainly do this in a baking dish, but I just think it's more fun to have a pretty presentation. Okay, so I'm going to fill each one of these with equal amounts, and I think this might work better. And you just want to just fill them as full as you can. I'm a little out of practice. We've been on I think a 6 months or almost 6 month break from filming Dream Home Cooking because I had a freak accident in the gym and dislocated my shoulder. And I know I put that on my page a while back, but it's just been a long recovery. But I'm so happy to be back today and with my producer and filming, and Mike's excited about being a taster again. So you just want to generously fill these, and they'll probably be overflowing, but that's okay. But if you end up, if your spaghetti squash isn't as big or what have you, and you have extra pasta mixture, no worries. Just, you know, you can put it in a dish and freeze it, or just bake it separately in a dish. But if you have extra of this mixture, you can always put it in a dish and freeze it, or just bake it in a regular small baking dish. So you're just gonna kind of mash that around, make sure it's all in there. Then I'm gonna put a little pepper, little black pepper. I think this would be good too with shrimp instead of chicken. If you're a seafood lover, that would be a nice substitute as well. And then we're just gonna just eyeball a couple tablespoons of shredded mozzarella on top. And I like to use the one that has the Philadelphia cream cheese shredded in with it. It kind of makes it melt prettier. Okay, and then this will go in a 350 oven for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to move this over to the side and get this pot cleaned up, and then I'll show y'all how I do my little garlic sauteed green beans. Okay, so I've got the big old pot cleared out, and I've got the spaghetti squash stuffed and ready to put in the oven. I'm not putting it in there quite yet because it's going to be another almost hour before Mike gets here. But I'm going to work on these green beans. These are my garlic sauteed green beans, and it's just a simple recipe, but they're delicious, and I think they go well with the Alfredo spaghetti squash dish. I'm kind of starting off like I did a while ago, sauteing a little onion, about a 1/4 cup of chopped onion, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. And then after this cooks down a second, I'm gonna add some garlic to it. And this is a recipe that I don't boil these green beans. I just saute them in a skillet, and they cook up nicely, and they don't become totally, where they don't have any crunch at all to them. I do have a green bean recipe that I cook every last vitamin out of it and make them mushy and with bacon grease, but this is just super simple. Okay, I'm gonna add the garlic to that. Make sure I get all that out. There is so much to catch y'all up on with community news and just all kinds of stuff. Our city of Huntsville, my goodness, how proud we are to be here, and being voted #1 in the nation, #1 city to live in, was pretty impressive. I love all of the restaurants and fun things that we're getting to do around here. I think it's even attracting young people, to move to Huntsville, which I think is awesome. So, okay, so that is about ready for me to add the green beans. So this is a 12-ounce package of fresh whole green beans that have already been snipped, but then I took them and cut them in half one more time. You can get these in the produce section over by the bagged lettuce, and I love it because they're already washed and cleaned, and I don't have to do much. So this is just a matter of sauteing these until they get a little softer. Then I'm gonna add a little salt and a little pepper, and you just want to cook it on medium-high, and in a minute I'm going to add just a tad of chicken broth for them to simmer. All right, so you just want to keep sauteing these, and by that I mean just kind of stirring it with a wooden spoon like I'm doing for a couple of minutes, and then I'm just going to add just a tiny bit, probably not even a 1/4 cup of some chicken broth, and then I'm just going to turn it on real low and cover it and just let it simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they'll be ready. Okay, so I am going to set this to the side, and then when we come back, I'm going to show y'all how I make these party pesto pinwheels.
When you select Wolde Flooring's hardwood, you don't just enhance your home, you transform it. With hundreds of beautiful, durable, hand-selected varieties that come with up to a 50-year warranty, you can count on unsurpassed beauty and proven durability that's guaranteed to stand the test of time. When you want the best flooring for your home, come to Wolde Flooring in Madison. WoldeFlooring.com, 256-325-8453.
Hey guys, I wanted to let y'all know about a year ago, me and Bruce Stone started a new company called Stonewood Homes. And Stonewood is a little different business plan than Woodland Homes because Stonewood is a scattered lot home builder, which means if you have a lot and you're looking for a builder, Stonewood is the answer. So if you own a home site or you're looking at building a custom home, give us a call at 830-9000 and let's start building.
Okay, we're back, and now I want to show y'all how I make these party pesto pinwheels. They are so good and so easy. So, you know, you can buy that, the crescent roll dough in sheets instead of the little triangular things. Sometimes it's hard to find. There's a lot of things that are kind of hard to find these days, but you just unroll the sheet, and you're just going to do a light layer of pesto, and I just buy the pesto that's already made up in the refrigerator section. I like that one the best. And you're just gonna put it evenly. You end up using about a third cup of the pesto. You don't want to use that whole container. This is a fun little colorful appetizer that you could do, or use it in place of bread with your meal. That's very, very tasty. I love these crescent sheets. There's so much you can do with these. Breakfast casseroles and little pizzas, just all kinds of stuff. All right, and then this is a 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, and we're just gonna evenly sprinkle that on there. And then this is roasted red peppers. You can get them in a jar at the grocery store if you've never used them, but you see what I'm doing. I thought I drained them enough, but I'm giving it one more little drain, and you don't want too much of that juice because it'll be hard for this it'll be soggy and hard to roll up. But I just took those red peppers, 1/4 cup, chopped them, and they're the roasted ones. So if they have a little black spots on them, they're just fire roasted, so don't let that alarm you. Okay, now we're just gonna take it and carefully just roll it, and you just keep rolling till you get to the end. All right, gotta bring that bad boy back over here with the seam side down, and then I'm gonna take a bread knife and I'm gonna cut little 1/2-inch slices. And I always like to I go through so much parchment paper. It's just such an easier cleanup, and it keeps the things like this from burning on the bottom. So you see I've got a little bit of extra dough, so I'm just gonna cut that off. So then you just wanna take little careful 1/4 to 1/2-inch pieces and gently. That's why you want to definitely use a serrated or a bread knife, because it just cuts a little easier through there. But while I'm slicing these, I wanted to tell you all about our community of the week this week is called Lakewood. And we are so excited about this community. It's been a long time coming. It's in Athens. It's in a super, super great location. It's going to be a gorgeous community with a lot of lots, a great amenity package with a clubhouse, a pool, all that good stuff. And we are just getting started with it, finally able to build in there. You know, Athens has grown so much, and there's so much to do there. And so you're really in a prime location, close to everything. But Mike will tell y'all many more details. And I am putting these on the parchment paper, and then this goes in the oven, 400 degrees. And you want to bake them for about 13 to 15 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. And that's it. So this is going to be delicious with this spaghetti squash Alfredo boats. I think I've named it like 3 different things since we've been on the show today. And then the garlic green beans, it's all going to be delicious. So I'm going to get this in the oven, and when we come back, Mike will be here with me to taste all of this delicious food and to tell you more about our community of the week.
Choosing an appliance can be complicated these days. That's why at Bob Wallace Appliance, we start by asking questions like an occasional cook or a serious chef, something just for you or an army, once a week or once a day. You see, it's not just what we know about appliances, it's what we know about you. Bob Wallace Appliance, locally owned and operated for more than 35 years. Online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Yeah, we started at Wood Mill Trace was our first woodland home, and it was a townhome that had 220 other homes there, and we enjoyed it. It was wonderful, and then we decided to travel, and we traveled for about 2.5 years in an RV. So when we got back last year, we all sat down and started coming up with ideas of a plan. And by going into one of the communities that was already existing, we saw a house or a plan called the Homewood. And the house that we're in today is called the Homewood, which is 2,400 square feet with an oversized double garage and many, many amenities. And the difference is, in the townhome, we had an upstairs area that would lend itself that you would go there daily. And today we have everything all together at 2,400 square feet on one area, one floor. Great. So that's been a tremendous asset to me. And plus we have a great yard. And when you travel 2.5 years in an RV, you don't necessarily have a great yard. You have different yards all the time. So it's really difficult to say that, well, we're sitting outside and seeing these beautiful trees, birds, squirrels, and whatever. And now we're able to enjoy that. So in addition to loving the house that we're in, we're able to spend a lot of time outside enjoying the outdoors.
Yes, and I think too, and I know you would agree with this, Bill, we're not spring chickens anymore. And the thought of building a home actually scared the two of us, and we were thinking, I don't know if we want to go through this again. So we met with, of course, Woodland Homes and decided on a plan, and we decided to go for it. And I'm going to tell you something, Woodland Homes has it going on. Anyone at any age should feel comfortable to build a home with Woodland Homes. Yeah, we love our new home. It's awesome.
Since 1983, individuals and businesses in Alabama have relied on Wolf, Jones, Wolf, Hancock, Daniel, and South for their legal representation. Our experienced attorneys offer high-quality legal counsel in commercial law, real estate, and personal injury litigation. So if you need an attorney, hire the best attorney you can. Call the experienced North Alabama attorneys at Wolf, Jones, Wolf, Hancock, Daniel, and South to arrange your initial consultation, because we're dedicated to setting the standard for legal services.
All right, we're back, and I've got the man himself, Mike Friday, with me in the kitchen. It smells good, if I can say so myself.
It does smell good, yeah. I walked in the door, and it was like,
yes,
okay.
that garlic and butter. Yeah. These are those spaghetti squash Alfredo boats
chicken,
that I've been making. Yes, with chicken, yep. And then the little party pesto pinwheels. And you take some marinara sauce, and I just use your favorite jarred marinara sauce, heat it up. And then I've got my garlic green beans that I sauteed, and so
smells great.
Yeah, thank you. So that's lunch. So my goodness, it's been a while since we filmed.
Yeah,
and
got y'all recovered here.
Yeah, I can move my arm, but there's just so much to catch up on. I talked about Lakewood being our community of the week,
right.
And I haven't been out there in a while, but I'm hearing all kinds of amazing things. It's just a beautiful piece of property. And so what's happening over there?
Well, we bought this piece of property a little over a year ago, and we wanted to get over into the Athens market. Mm-hmm. And actually, we've done several acquisitions in Athens. Lakewood is, we've started construction. Our entrance is going in. This particular community will probably be about 150 to 160 home sites. So we'll be out there for several years. But it is a great location. We're located right off Highway 31, about 2 miles south of Highway 72. And then south of us, about 2 miles, is the 65 on and off ramp, right next to Buc-ee's, which is under construction. So yeah, we're close to Buc-ee's. But yeah, it's been a couple of years in the process, and we finally got our recorded plat, and we've probably got about 15 homes under construction.
Yeah.
Got our clubhouse. It'll be a really nice clubhouse. Swimming pool.
Yeah, I talked about that. The amenity package seems like it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be nice.
And the schools there are we know people with kids in school there that say it's awesome.
Yeah, schools are great. I mean, this is such a really good location. Since I've done my acquisition, there's been probably 4 or 5 other builders that have kind of come in, right around us, because I just felt like that the location to schools, shopping, grocery, transportation systems, to the new Toyota plant. I mean, it's just a home run.
Yeah, it's an excellent location.
Yeah. Speaking of growth, I mean, look at Huntsville.
I know.
I mean, I got a statistic the other day. There was like 12,000 apartments under construction, and those are people who are moving in temporary housing that is going to be looking for. For home building in the future. So
it's just explosive. I talked about and I know the viewers have seen Huntsville being voted #1 city in the United States. So there's a lot of great things.
A lot of jobs, a lot of activity. But we're excited to be in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes, we are.
And now Athens, Alabama.
Yes.
So
we've been here for 32 years. So it's been fun to watch the growth.
It has been fun. So let's wrap this up. I'm hungry. So for Melissa's recipes,
you can find them on our woodlandhomes.com website, as well as our Dream Home Cooking Facebook page.
Yeah, and for Woodland Homes and information on your next dream home, visit our website. We just launched a brand new website, so it's full of really, really good information. And for information on Lakewood, our new featured community, you can give us a call at 256-830-9000. So we appreciate our sponsors. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible, and we would not be able to build the homes without our sponsors as well. So y'all come out and see us. Thank you.
All right, let's eat.
Yep.